The problem I was having to make me seek out care is I had had painful sex for 15 years. I don't know, 14. I'd been married a long time, and I am literally the most open person I've ever met. So it wasn't like I was suffering in silence. I was literally talking to all my friends that I was close with about this to try to get help. I even went to a doctor, an OB, and I have my degree in psychology, and she told me it was all in my head. Because physically, I was fine. And so what Bree taught me is it is true that it was psychological, but it was more than that. So like, if you have painful sex, your body is going to like tighten up to protect you from getting hurt. And so like, it's a physical response that is also psychological. And so I had done everything I could think of. Like, I was struggling forever, and I honestly like thought this was just my life. So what was different about Luna and Bree? First off, Bree is the definition of somebody who's found their calling in life. And you can feel of her love and her passion about this topic because she's literally saving people's lives and their marriages. So I said, I'm like seriously the most open person I know. And even I, like when I went to my first appointment, I'm like, wow, this is pretty vulnerable. Like, I'm pretty open and I'm like as touchy as can be. And even I was like, wow, this is pretty awkward, you know? And so, but Bree is so loving and so patient and kind and instant best friend. And like going to Luna and becoming friends with Bree was the first time I had hope that this could even get changed. Like, you have no idea what is wrong, or like you just suffer in silence. So the moment that I realized that this was working, you know, honestly, it's been a process, because I think it physically starts working. I think I only had to do, I don't know, maybe 6 or 8 sessions, so not a ton. And I remember saying with my dad and my mom, like, even if this took a year, like whatever amount of time it takes, it doesn't matter, because I've had 15 years of pain. Like, I'll do whatever it takes to help. So I think it was several sessions where I was still tight during therapy. And then all of a sudden it was like, it started loosening and I'm like, oh, it's working. But I will say, and I think everybody needs to understand, even though you're physically having good responses, it still took me maybe a year after I graduated, maybe even 2, I don't know. It took a while to even psychologically, like, my system had to chill out and be like, hey, you still aren't having any physical negative responses. You're safe, this is good. This is only good feelings. It's not good and bad. And so I think it only took 8 sessions for me to graduate, which really is fast considering. So she did use dilators, and they range from like the size of a pinky, which was so validating and also so heartbreaking, because the size of a pinky, even that hurt. And I was like, holy crap, I've been suffering and it hurts with that tiny of size. Like, are you kidding me? So, and then a giant size. And so then at the very end, like when I graduated and I felt no pain whatsoever on the largest size, I'm like, are you kidding me? This is what it feels like? Because I've had so many friends be like, oh, it doesn't hurt at all. And so to me, I'm like, this is what it's like for everyone else? Are you kidding me? You don't even know what this feels like. Like, It was so mind-blowing to me. And so I tell all of my friends, because the majority, I think I've had 2 or 3 friends throughout my life that have had painful sex, but everybody else hasn't. And so I continue to tell people, even though they themselves haven't experienced it, but I tell them so that in case anybody that they come across does, they can know, okay, you need physical therapy, pelvic floor physical therapy. I think most people don't even know men can benefit from it. Like, wait, men can go? Like, so men, and then I think most people think pelvic floor is only if you're peeing, when you jump or sneeze. That was never my issue. There's just so many reasons you go to pelvic floor therapy. So what it looks like now, 3 years later, which is so crazy because I'm still working with my psyche and like trying to actually, so I think it took me 6 months after therapy just to start having sex more. And I would use my things I was taught and it didn't hurt. And so like, it's literally shocking. And I am so close to Bree that anytime I would have sex, I'd want to like text her at 2 a.m. and be like, I did it didn't hurt. And I'm like, okay, I can't text her every single time I've had sex, but I really wanted to. But at the same time, I didn't want to be one of the lepers who didn't return to think and acknowledge, like, this literally is a miracle that I've prayed for years and years to have healed, and nothing ever was. So physically, it doesn't hurt. Mentally, I'm finally like caught up, like, hey, it doesn't hurt anymore. And so now, currently, I'm trying to like up my sex drive. Hey, this is fun, this is great, I can initiate, like, because in my mind, I've always been a sexual person, but because it hurt, I've just always like suppressed desire and everything. And so I'm still in the process of trying to like waken back up that sexual person. So it is amazing. And I will forever be grateful. Like, this actually does work. And I know that you're scared because you're very alone. Nobody knows what it's like. Like, seriously, like, I told everybody, and I'd only had 2 friends that I'd come across that they had experienced that same type of pain. And I have to say, like, this had nothing to do with my husband. He was as patient and loving and kind, like, and so you can be in a safe, wonderful marriage. Like, I literally think we have one of the best marriages I've seen. And that's not a direct reflection of what's happening physically. So it's great. And I'm like, I had sex 4 times this week and I'm so proud. Like, that's a huge, huge accomplishment. Because, like, honestly, there were times we would go months and it just is what it is. You know, like, sex is such an important part of your marriage. And luckily, I was married to someone so good and patient. Otherwise, like, I'm sure, like, divorce would cross husbands' minds. Like, it's so important. But now it's like, oh, look, I'm doing it. I'm like, I just am really proud of myself. And I have referred friends to Bree who I almost think they were suffering even more than I have. And she, the one girl, is like, I had no idea that this could actually work. And so Bree and her work is one of my greatest miracles I've witnessed in my life. And I'm forever grateful.